Until recently, I took questions from the audience. People would stand, speak, everybody else would be quiet and listen while that person made a statement or a question. I would give an answer, they would come back with a follow-up. With this sort of situation, which has occurred in recent town hall meetings, that's impossible. Furthermore, by asking people to write down their questions, we get more succinct questions, and the intention was to get through more questions so I could reach more of you. If people stand up and harangue, which is what has been happening, we just don't make any progress all evening. So let's try this.
We're going to change the format a little. You know what we'll do? I'll choose a card randomly. I'll ask the person to come up here, and they can ask the question themselves. Okay? And there can be some dialogue there. But I'm going to ask all the people, wherever you're sitting and you're here, just comment down so some people can get some intellectual discussion and make their own decisions. I'm just asking you to please all control yourself. We know how you feel. We really want this to go as smoothly as it possibly can. All right, so I'm going to choose the card. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Mr. Mitch Marks.
Do you want to stand? Do you come up or stand?
I'll read the card. I'll read the card. So here are the facts. Our country is bankrupt. Our national debt is $12.5 trillion, which is $40,000 for every soul that's out there. Okay, so not every soul pays taxes. That's $120,000 for every worker out there. Our 2009 deficit is $1.5 trillion for the year. Medicare is bankrupt for 7 years. So for all the folks out there with Medicare, all the cuts, that's the only way you can get the numbers that you shared. Social Security is bankrupt in less than 30 years. So here's the question. Why would you vote for an $800 billion stimulus bill that you didn't read, doesn't work, and aren't trying to fix? That's the first part. The second is, why would you vote for a health care bill that collects taxes for 10 years, but has utilization for only 6? Tell us that it saves us money. What about the second decade? We don't get to restart it and not give out benefits for 4 years, then collect taxes throughout those years. So my question really boils down to, why are you enslaving us in debt?
A well-phrased question. Thank you. And it is not true that the country is bankrupt. The principal question is, why would I vote for an $800 billion, the bill that was known as the American Recovery Act, or you call it the stimulus bill? Let me ask you to picture this. Over the past year, last year, about $2 trillion vanished from the economy. Just vanished. The money that people put in circulation, the economic activity, out of a roughly $15 trillion economy, $2 trillion just vanished. And we were spiraling downward at a rate that was scaring bankers, economists, anybody who was paying attention. The $800 billion Recovery Act plugged that hole. Now, it did not restore all $2 trillion that was missing. That is beginning to come back. If that had not been done, I ask you to imagine the downward spiral. It would be I try to think what gives rise to a depression. Now, that was, in fact, let me, it happens that today, I noticed in USA Today, USA Today told 40 economists of their choosing, who were not Bombay economists or something like that, and they reported that the unemployment would have been at least 10.8% in December instead of the 10% that we did in December. So it's not just those billion-plus jobs that we're talking about, the difference. We're talking about stopping that downward spiral, which indeed seems to have stopped. Now, the other parts of the question have okay, on that, but maybe not on healthcare then. Okay. Yes.
So if it's $800 billion, there's 4 million jobs saved or created, which there is no government metric for that at all. 800 billion divided by 4 million jobs would be $200,000 per job. I know you're not standing up here.
I know you're not standing up here and saying that those jobs are worth $200,000 each.
No, because the effect of the ARRA is not over yet.
But we've only spent a third, so if you voted...
It's getting closer to 50%.
Okay, we won't
That's
that.
right.
Okay, but
Yeah.
less, half or less in the year that we needed it, correct?
It should have been larger.
Well, we can argue about that as well.
Yeah,
So,
actually, these same economists, actually, that was their point. It should have been larger.
but if those economists knew what they were doing, we wouldn't have been in this hole.
Who were running Wall Street. These are economists who aren't determining our national fiscal policy. These are academic economists.
But they would have been ringing the bell.
Anyway, so next, and we probably should move on, but thank you.